Patrick, guess what came in the mail today?
Oh, what?
This.
Stick it in!
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another episode of the M&K Productions Podcast, aka episode 126. I'm your host, Matt, joined here by my co-host, as usual, Kristen, aka Miss Flamingo. How are you doing today, Kristen?
I'm doing well. We're going to have a watch along today, so
Yes.
I am very relaxed. I feel in my comfort zone. This is just a nice watch along where you can have us find people tuning into whatever you're watching. But today we're watching, I think, something action-packed. Is that correct, Matt?
I mean, if you want to say it's action-packed, yes, it feels like a comic
It
book
is
because
action-packed.
it's based on a graphic novel. I guess it is.
It is.
Yeah,
We're gonna get into that.
Yes, we're watching 2022's Bullet Train in honor of David Leitch's new movie,
Fall Guy.
the Fall Guy, and you suggested we watch this, and God, it's like this is a movie where I feel like I can watch like over and over again without it being boring.
That's the great thing about David Leitch films, which we'll get into as we discuss, throughout this episode. And while you guys watch along Bullet Train with us, or if you just want to hear us chat about it while we watch the movie, then yeah. I'm ready to press play. Are you ready to press play, Mac?
Well, yeah. Well, let's get into a little bit behind the history of Bullet Train. So before we start it, cast your minds back to the summer of 2022. We were just 2 years out of the pandemic, and really we were looking for like that next film that really would like, hey, let's go to the movies to see this. Is really boring. And they hit the trailer, and it was the Staying Alive trailer, and it was Bullet Train. And I gotta say, when I saw this trailer, I was like, okay, this looks kind of funny and interesting, and it has like a stacked cast, to be honest, for this film too, like Brad Pitt, Aaron Taylor Johnson, Brian Tyree Henry, Joey King from The Kissing Booth, which I'll get into my thing with her later. Oh god, what's the Japanese guy's name? I'm just gonna kill me. Hold up. What's
Andrew
his name?
Koji, I think
Yes.
you're saying him.
Yes, the all-star himself from Shogun. Like, you got a lot of good people in this movie, and it's just like it's a fun action film, and it's based on a graphic novel, and it's just a fun ride through and through. And that's like my history with it. What about your history with it?
I remember going to see this opening weekend because I remember when the trailer first dropped, and I was like, huh, all right, I can get behind this. And I liked seeing, like, this is coming off the, hype where, like, Brad Pitt was just in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, where he won his Academy Award. And I was like, this is like, I love going to movies to see a fun, action-packed, turn off your brain action movie. We've talked about films like that in the past, whether it be Nobody with Bob Odenkirk, or like Violent Night. We've talked about action movies in the past where they're like guilty pleasure, like A+ worthy fun ticket movies. Bullet Train is definitely one of them.
I'd say so, yeah. This is definitely a film where like you have to you just had to be there. Like, this is one of the films I'd say it was great to see in the theaters, and
I completely agree.
And they added it on Netflix like pretty fast, because I'm pretty sure, if I'm not mistaken, they added this to Netflix like, I want to say it came out in August. It was on Netflix by like December at least.
I guess so. I saw it, and then I haven't this is like when we were planning this episode, I was like, maybe we should do a Bullet Train watch along. And I rewatched it, I want to say over the weekend, because I watched The Fall Guy, and I was like, let me, for this episode, since we're going to rewatch it, let me rewatch it first before I rewatch it with you. And I thought, yeah, this is just as great as the first time as I saw it, with, it was filmed as like a COVID movie, like you can tell, which I'm sure we'll talk about some of the, the technical stuff,
And it was released on Netflix within the same year, because it came out in August of 2022, was on Netflix by December of 2022. So that's a quick turnaround. So that means this film was highly requested to be put on there.
Yeah, well, I think though that like Sony has a deal with Netflix, so like a couple
Yeah.
months like after Sony releases their film in theaters and it gets its on-demand release, it immediately, 6 months later it'll go to Netflix. That's like right now, like Anyone But You is like trending on Netflix because it was a popular movie during the holiday season, giving Sydney Sweeney and Glenn Powell. So now
Yeah.
it's trending on Netflix. So and that was a Sony movie. So yeah, Sony
But
Pictures and Bullet Train.
yeah, so let's get into it. If you haven't been one of our watch logs before, pretty much you can follow along by watching the movie. It's on Netflix right now. We're gonna be starting at 00. We're just gonna be talking through it and just kind of like giving our thoughts about it and kind of just talking about the film, just chilling and giving you some insight on it. So if you're all set, I'm at 00. Are you at 00?
I am at 00.
All right, for the folks at home who'd like to watch along, we're going to be starting at 00 and we're going to be going in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and we're hitting play.
Just a heads up. By the time our episode will release, you'll still have time to watch it on Netflix because the last day to watch it is like I think June 2nd. So if you
That's
haven't watched
dumb.
it yet and you want to watch it on Netflix, go over and watch it before they remove it. Or you'll just have to rent it or find it somewhere else streaming.
It'll probably go somewhere else because I can't
Yeah,
see it.
definitely.
I
Probably
can't
like
see it being off streaming for too long
yeah,
because this is just a
definitely.
fun movie. Like this is like the perfect streaming movie. If this came out during the pandemic, this would have been awesome.
I think this would have been a better pandemic movie if it came out like in like the year like I know it was
That's
being filmed in like 2020 and 2021, but if this came out like in 2021, I would have been like, this is the perfect COVID film to like release.
yes. Shout out to 87 North Pictures. That's David Leitch's production company. They are
Yeah, I took down some notes for that, but I want to get into first the at the time other films released during August of 2022. There was a couple. I want to see if you watched any of these, Mac.
probably, but go ahead.
We have just also released that weekend, besides Bullet Train, Easter Sunday, the Kojo movie, Joy Koi movie.
I
think that's
don't.
how you say it.
I do not know what that is.
It's like it's the comedian, Chelsea. I think Chelsea Handler is dating him at the moment. Joe
Mm,
Coy, I think that's how you say his name.
I do not know the movie.
But yeah, Easter Sunday. I didn't watch it, but that's also available on Netflix. I think, or no, it's on Peacock. Actually, I didn't watch it yet though. Bodies, bodies, bodies.
Oh yeah, you went. That was your movie. You were going crazy for that all like year. You're like, oh my
I
god, get
don't
away from
think
my.
so.
No, you were talking about that movie for at least a month or two. You're like, I'm gonna. You wanted to watch it, and my mom actually watched it because she saw your review and she liked it.
I don't think I actually reviewed it.
I think you talked about it. If you didn't,
I definitely have talked about it to you, but I don't remember
I think you
reviewing it.
reviewed it.
I'm gonna have to check back, but I don't think
I was like,
so.
this is a full 2 years ago, so we could be. We barely remember. Like I can barely remember what I reviewed 2 years ago, but I do remember
Um,
Bodies, Bodies, Bodies. I didn't watch it, but I am aware of it.
well, if you want to watch it, it's an A24 movie. The ending, it reminds me of kind of like the ending of like American Assassination, where it was like just for the laughs.
Oh, you mean
Remember?
Assassination Nation?
Yeah.
You mean it was just for the lols?
Or yeah.
We
Kind of
should do
gave
that.
me like those
We need,
vibes.
we need to do a watch along for that movie. I have so much to say about that movie because, like, the fact that that movie is from the Euphoria creator, I have so much to say about that movie.
We got Mac and Rita, which is a Diane Keaton film.
Didn't see it.
Then we have Fall.
I don't know. I really do not remember half these. These are all came out in March.
No, August of 2022.
Oh, August. I don't think I've heard of it.
We got Emily the Criminal, which is a underrated Aubrey Plaza film. And if you haven't seen that, I also recommend that too. We got Summering, which is an indie film from Bleecker Street Media. Beast, the Idris Elba film.
I saw that later on, but I didn't see it in August.
Here's one that we actually did review. Orphan First Kill.
Oh yeah, that's right. Man, that was 2 years ago. Shit.
Yeah, because I got engaged just around that time when
That's
Orphan
right.
Kill was dropping. Then we
That
have 3,000 Years of Longing, which was one I was so excited to see. Actually, that one over Bodies, Bodies, Bodies.
did not see
So,
it.
it's the last film George Miller directed with Tilda Swinton and also starring Idris Elba,
Ah,
where Idris Elba is a genie.
I didn't watch it still.
We have The Invitation,
Mm-mm.
which is the vampire film, which starred one of the characters from the Descendants film. I think it was from the second and third film, and dated Dove Cameron. I forget his name,
Mm.
but we got Breaking, which is the John Boyega film, and then another A24 film called Funny Pages, which I thought was a really bad A24 movie. I did not like that. But those were the films
Yeah.
released
So
of
besides,
August
I said
that were
besides like three of them,
theatrical.
besides
That were
three of them,
theatrical. I did not include streaming, but this is like if you wanted to go to the theaters and pay for it, the best thing that you could probably pay for
is
at the
Bullet
time
Train.
was Bullet Train.
Yeah, because it literally nothing like Orphan was streaming because that's Paramount. That didn't even come out in
No,
theaters.
well, it was released simultaneously on like
Paramount
streaming
Plus.
and theaters. So that's why I included it.
Oh, okay. Also,
Yeah,
yeah,
so
Bullet Train is legit the only one that was worth seeing.
yeah.
I think I waited for Beast to come out. It was like when Peacock first came out. That's when I watched it on there. But
Um but
where
yeah,
it, in
I
the in
remember this time too when it was released. My sister saw it a few weeks after I did because August, the last week of August, is like movie theater day, National Movie Theater Day.
yeah, that's when everyone goes and it's like dirt cheap.
Yeah, so that's what her and her fiance went to go see, and they both really liked it too.
Well,
So,
now we're in the opening of the movie where we're introduced to Brad Pitt's character, who's codenamed Ladybug, and there's a running thing with him in the movie where he claims he has bad luck, and he's pretty much coming back to the job, um, after he got injured in line of duty, and he has his Zen mentality. Well, he won't kill anyone, and that actually plays a big role in the movie because this movie has a underlying. Funny enough, Bullet Train has actually layers of themes, which I never thought I would say about an action movie like this. But it has a theme of like
yeah, the more
it,
like I saw it the
it,
second time, like I didn't notice it the first
there
time.
are themes in this movie. Like
Exactly.
there's a theme of fate and there's luck and everything. And I think that Brad Pitt's character is and later in the movie they said, you're a ladybug, it connects everyone together, and that kind of is a theme of like, you connect
Lucky
people. Yeah,
ladybugs.
yeah. But what do you think about at this time? Do you believe the theory of Brad Pitt wanting to do this role to show that he was changing? Because there was a theory that he took this role because he had the divorce with Angelina Jolie and they were going through the custody battle, and like
Mhm.
stories were coming out that apparently he was kind of a like, I don't know, just a jerk or some stuff. He had some bad moments, so he was trying to show people that he was trying to change, and this was like it was like a different role from him at the time because he was actually very laid back, and that's kind of reflecting on what he is now because he's very laid back compared to
He
what he was.
seemed very laid back because I knew him growing up, at least from what I, knew Brad Pitt from, was like the guy who did art house films. Like
Yeah,
like 12-year-old me at the time who was starting to get into film, and even young Kristen knew who Brad Pitt was. Like he helps people. Like I didn't know him from the movies until like later on when I was starting to
yeah.
get into film. He was married to Angelina Jolie, and I'm trying to pull up the filmography that he has because like the stuff I remember watching
He
was
didn't
like
do. Yeah, he didn't do too many like
action movies.
action like, well, not even that. He didn't do a lot of like wacky stuff. Like this was like the first Bullet
I
Train was
guess
like,
the most wacky things you could say he did were like Mr. and Mrs. Smith, where he met his then
and
wife, Angelina Jolie.
yep,
Troy tried to take itself seriously, but it was just
Troy
the
sucked.
absolute silliest dumpster
Troy,
fire. I
Troy
remember
sucked.
going to school and, and middle school, and teachers would play that. And I was
I
like, all
never
right.
watched that in school. I think I watched that on like TV and I was bored.
But other than that, like Brad Pitt did like all the
Ser-
art house, like
yeah,
serious films, like, Inglorious Bastards, even though that's like silly of itself,
this is the
a
like
serious subject.
this is like the first role I've ever seen him in where he actually doesn't take himself seriously, and that's what made it refreshing with his character. Like he actually, like Brad Pitt is like underrated comedy, and it actually works.
And I think we're starting to see that for people who work with David Leitch now, where you see that with Ryan Gosling,
Mhm.
which we'll talk about next time for our review of The
Yeah.
Fall Guy. But
Uh,
then, he did, Babylon. He's done. You can kind of say Megamind, but that was like a voice acting role.
Still counts.
Still counts.
And
Where it was
here
like
we are.
goofy.
We are introduced to the villain, the iconic Joey King is the villain of Bullet Train. I
One of
still
the villains.
and one of the I still don't buy. Remember when I texted you? I said there's no way that Joey King is like the main antagonist of this movie. I got like super like there's no way.
Yes.
Because literally this was like a year after the kissing booth.
Like where it concluded?
Yeah. Because they did it back to back.
Oh yeah, that's right. I
And we
forgot.
we
The
watched
kissing
like,
booth is like so stupid to me that I forgot. Like I like to forget that it even existed.
uh-huh.
And then I just want to bring up really quickly about Joey King. Her character is named the Prince.
Yeah.
And then literally like a month before that, she starred in an action film on Hulu called The Princess. So the irony of just like the princess to go to prince, just the names of that.
Mm-hmm.
Just the irony of that. Like, I don't know. But
And also we got to mention that I think the best characters in the film are Lemon and Tangerine, played by Brian Tyree Henry and Aaron Taylor Johnson. Like those two have such great chemistry and are just awesome. If you don't know these two, Brian Tyree Henry is from Atlanta, Aaron Taylor Johnson's Kick Ass, and these two are just awesome in this movie. And I think Aaron Taylor Johnson, this was like a bit, I would say this is a big coming out role for him. I guess it was more of like, hey, I'm still here. Remember me from Kick Ass and Age of Ultron? Yeah, I still make movies. And people, this is like a role everyone was saying, like, oh, he could be a good James Bond.
yeah.
And I'm like, I mean, I can see it, and like, and another fun fact is that the person waking up did not know that was Logan Lerman. That's Percy Jackson right there. That shocked my mind. I was like, wait, what?
Do you want to know something crazy?
What?
I didn't know this. The more Brian Tyree Henry got famous,
Uh,
but I saw him on Broadway.
really?
Here's the thing. When Chris, I'm talking in third person. Why am I doing that? Well,
When you
when
saw,
Kristen like had her crush on Chris Evans and was really into Chris Evans at the time,
Mhm.
he starred in a Broadway show called The Lobby Hero, and it starred Chris Evans, Michael Cera, Belle Powley, and Brian Tyree Henry. Just a 4-person play, and I saw it, and I was like, "This guy is really good, and he's gonna be something." And now
Yeah.
he's playing a character who was obsessed with Thomas the Tank Engine.
That
And
is funny to me. That because you think it's dumb, but it actually makes sense. Because I watched Thomas the Tank Engine, but it actually makes sense with like the character he's talking about. It's awesome.
but I find it funny, like how this, like when you see somebody going like on like a TV role or going to see somebody like in concert or Broadway, you go, "Huh, like I wonder if they're gonna make it big that one day," and they do, you
Mhm.
know. So it was just funny to me to think like, oh my gosh, all these years later, Brian Tyree Henry is now starring in like all these incredible films.
Well, except
So
for Eternals, which came out later in the
yeah,
same year.
Internals and maybe Child's Play, which I was also not a fan of.
I forget that Child's Play he was in. Damn, I keep forgetting about that one. That 2019 movie.
Yeah, we forget. And also that also started Aubrey Plaza, bringing her up from previously from Emily the Criminal.
Just skip that one, people. Just watch the TV show. It's better.
But
So
yeah,
one thing about Bullet Train I want to ask you is that because this scene they're gonna go over like how many people they killed. Do you
yes,
like how the film does like it makes everything you want to pay attention in, like even the little stuff? Because I guess let's say an example like the water bottle at the end, how it's like it traveled from different parts of the train. Like, do you like how it focuses on certain aspects of the film that like
yeah,
they seem like minuscule, but they're actually kind of important to the overall plot?
yeah. I think it's like this is like why I think I'm enjoying more of the work of David Leitch because he pays close attention, to all the things that might seem, very little, like what you were saying, but actually help drive, the story.
It reminds
You
me
know,
of Edgar Wright when he did with the Cornetto trilogy, when he'd have just jokes and they'd pay off at the end, especially with like Hot Fuzz.
hmm
And
no,
like
it's
it,
all true.
I love it, and I love David Leitch and everything, and I think he's a good director, and I definitely want to see him do more stuff with this. And it's like this is like because he did Deadpool too, so this feels very Deadpool ish.
Yeah. And that sense is why I think Brad Pitt wanted to work with David Leitch, because Brad Pitt had that cameo in Deadpool 2.
The best cameo.
Yeah, honestly.
I mean, if the rumors are true, Taylor Swift might win that award this year if she's in Deadpool and Wolverine.
I mean, yeah. Um, but speaking of, the works of David Leitch, I was going through the productions 87 North has done.
Mm-hmm.
They've been around for 10 years. So they first started with John Wick.
Mm-hmm. Him and Chad Stileski.
Yes, and then they went on to do John Wick Chapter 2, and
Good.
then David did his first solo project, which was Atomic Blonde.
Underrated film.
Yeah, it kind of is. I mean, I don't love it, but I don't mind it,
Well, everyone, when it came out, that one's weird because when it came out, everyone's like, "Oh, this is just a female John Wick," but it actually does more in terms of character than
But
John Wick.
it's also canon in the John Wick universe,
It is, so that's what they keep saying, that it could cross over. So maybe.
Then we got John Wick 3, and then a movie I mentioned
Awesome.
earlier, Nobody, with Bob Odenkirk.
Love it.
Kate, which I haven't seen,
I haven't
which
seen
is a
that either.
Netflix film. Bullet Train, Day Shift, which is the Dave Franco and Jamie Foxx vampire action comedy, which
Mhm.
I haven't seen either. Violent Night, which we also both love.
Yep.
John Wick 4 was
Perfect.
the only one that they released that was in 2023, and then this year they got The Fall Guy, and then next year they got two big films, and that is With Love, which is the Ke Kwan film with Marshawn Lynch and Ariana DeBose, which I think is going to be absolutely awesome with the cast alone. I mean,
You said Marshawn Lynch, the football player?
yes, I am
Okay,
not kidding.
I'm curious for that. I need to see this.
Well, just watch him in Bottoms. He is the best part of that
Oh
film.
no, I know because I watched him in Brooklyn Nine-Nine. And he had like the funniest cameo because it was like him trying to tell a story about like witnessing. Is like I didn't see anything, man. I can tell you, I like to sleep with the fan on. I was like, okay, this man is funny. I need to see him in
He
more
is
stuff.
like one of those rare instances where a football player can become a great comedic actor. Like I was surprised how much I was laughing with his performance in Bottoms. Like he saved that film for me. But besides that, we got John Wick Ballerina, which was supposed to come out this year,
Not
but
looking
then
forward
got
to that.
delayed. So
Not
they are cooking at 87 North
respect.
Productions.
And a pause on that real quick because we were getting our first cameo with Bad Bunny is in the movie.
Babuni Bonito.
Are you a Bad Bunny fan or do you like his music?
I don't really listen to him, but like I've seen him, like I'll watch him if he's like on TV, like on an award show performing. I'll go, okay, it's Bad Bunny.
There is a lot of like, so how do you feel about the cameos in this movie? Like there's a lot of cameos. Do you feel like it's just enough where it's not too much, or is it like, do you think it's a little overboard?
Well, I enjoy them because it's like I get excited, and I think that's what helps drive the story. Because, like, there's so many, killers and assassins and all that stuff that show up. So it's always really exciting. I think from the way the story like really drove this film, like I was excited. Like if there was like, multiple characters going along the way that I didn't really wasn't caring about the story, that I would have been like,
It
all
feels like
right, you know.
it feels like Clue meets like Assassin's Creed or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Because I know this is based on an anime. This is not an anime. It is based on um a novel. It's called Maria Beetle, which is Bullet Train in Japanese. It was released back in 2010, and it is both it's been a stage play and it's been the film that we know.
Which is interesting to see it as a stage play. Like how? Like how? You know?
But it is like I have done like the cliff notes of the book or the novel, and it is very different than how the movie is, and I think
Okay.
it's better that the movie went the rate because it makes it more entertaining. Because it is kind of like the book is black comedy, but this one is a little funnier to me.
Yeah, they bring a lot of action to life with this, like with all the different fight sequences. I think that's what helps drive it. So,
And it is the first. Oh, you go ahead.
no, go ahead.
And just so you know that I know people were like, maybe it could be a spin-off, and there is like it is a trilogy and like an anthology series, so it could work. For I don't know if I'd want a Bullet Train sequel. I kind of like it just being its one own film. Like it's fun, but I wouldn't. I kind of don't want a sequel.
Yeah, but like if they were, imagine it'd be like on an airplane, but that would be like
See,
so
yeah,
redundant of like thinking of like
yeah,
snakes on a plane or
that's jump.
something like that.
At
Like, you
that
know,
point, you're just jumping the shark because it's like, how many types of movies can you do this? Like, or
so I appreciate that alone, but maybe if the character of Brad Pitt's character, Ladybug,
he has to
was
come
like on
back.
a different mission,
Yeah,
then I would pay to watch.
or like a TV show, following his adventures.
Yeah, I don't think we could. I don't think I would ever see Brad Pitt in a TV show. That's the only thing. I think he
Give him a
sees
few more
himself as
years.
a
A
film
few more.
star.
You pay him enough money, he'll probably do it.
Depending on the crew and the project, I feel like he would do it.
Oh yeah,
I also want to acknowledge that since David Leitch was the founder of 87 North Productions, that also includes Kelly McCormick, which I did not mention earlier.
oh
So
yes.
shout out to Kelly, so the other founder of 87 North. So but yeah, so far we've got introduced a few characters, right? So we got Brad Pitt, we got Joey King, we got Aaron Taylor Johnson, Brian Tyler Henry, we got Andrew Koji, and we just saw Benito and Logan Lerman.
And now they're giving the backstory on the main villain of the movie, called the White Death, and pretty much just I guess we should probably say what the story is. Brad Pitt's character, like I mentioned, he's back on a mission, an easy snatch and grab mission since his last injury, but then there's some complications because Aaron Taylor Johnson, Brian Terry Henry character are trying to bring back the White Death's son after he was kidnapped, and then Prince is doing her own thing, and it's interesting how it connects all these stories, and it is back to the thing of like interconnecting links, and the whole Ladybug brings everyone together, and that's the theme in this movie, which is weird that they actually will.
Oh my gosh, I forgot about this part. The Bolivia scene
Oh yeah,
where they're cutting up the. Oh my god, with
and
this
they
really
mentioned it a few times, and it actually makes sense. It connects.
yes. Do you buy Joey King though going back to her as an action star?
No, no, no. Because, like, honestly, if she played the role like a villain, I'd be okay with that. Because I can see her like, I'm sure that Joey King is a nice person. Like, I'm not gonna like. I think she has talent as an actress. I just can't see her as like a leading lady in an action role.
Yeah.
I'd rather see
She
her as like a villain.
she is playing the villain here, but I just don't buy her as much as everyone else does. I don't know if it's just still training for, she's still working her ways as an actress and finding herself or something. But for me, I never really bought her. Even when she was a child actress, I never really bought her as that because I know like she's previously done like action films before.
Yeah, sure. Well, remember, like this is like I was right. Bullet Train was like a year after the Kissing Booth 3 came out.
Yeah. Because Joey King was in another action movie many, 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 many years ago.
Independence Day resurgence, baby.
White House Down.
And Battle Los Angeles. And Dark Knight Rises. In the college. Oh my gosh, she's been in a lot of stuff. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, she's been going. Like girl has not stopped.
Also, shout out to her magnum opus in Wish Upon.
Oh no, not Wish Upon.
Actually, it's a tie between what's worse, Wish Upon or Slender Man.
Ooh, that's so tough. Probably, I think you can get more laughs out of Wish Upon than Slender Man. So I'm gonna say Wish Upon just because I just find it really comedically funny than Slender Man. Like Slender Man, like they're both incredibly trashy.
Mhm.
Incredibly trashy. But if I'm gonna watch one over the other, I would watch Wish Upon. You know?
That's true. Wish Upon is kind of funny.
Just the scenes and the death scenes alone of that film are really funny. Oh, and do you remember going back to Joey King's like career and stuff like that when she first started out? Do you remember when she was on The Sweet Life of Zack and Cody?
I know.
She was in an episode or two of The Sweet Life of Zack and Cody, which is incredibly like crazy to think about.
Mm-hmm.
And then she was also in Ramona and Beezus. That's like how I knew her growing
That's
up.
how I knew her too. Yeah.
She was the lead Ramona Quimby, and she was starring with Selena Gomez. So obviously that was gonna like drive my excitement. And then she was also in like the Taylor Swift music video for Mean, and then she also worked with Taylor Swift again recently. But then I also forgot she was also in Oz the Great and Powerful too. The girl has been killing it with her, her thing with her career. She's making a paycheck. So
And now in Bullet Train, we have the flashback to Bad Bunny and how he ties into the story. And like I said, it's one of those things where this movie it does a good job of explaining everything to getting it to make it make sense to the overall arcing film. And there's a cool little flashbacks. I love it. I'm just loving how
it's a cool little flashback, and I kind of wish we got more fight sequences with Benito.
well what makes it funnier is that a lot of these flashbacks actually could work as like their own movies or TV shows. Like that's it, actually they're well done.
Yeah, it's fair. What did you think of Bad Bunny? Because he hasn't done much of acting. Like this is like
Well, he's busy being a multi-Grammy award-winning wrestler and artist. He's busy. He can't do movies.
wait. Let's back that up for a second. He was a wrestler.
Yeah, he's wrestled numerous times. His
What?
last match was in Puerto Rico at Backlash last year, and the crowd went crazy.
I had no idea.
You did not see anything at all, and you're more online than me.
I am more online, but I just don't follow Bad Bunny as much. But like, I only knew him from. Here's the thing. I knew him from talking smack. Wasn't he, didn't he talk smack about Jake Paul?
I don't know.
Okay, don't quote me on that. I thought there was a thing about that. I knew he was dating Kendall Jenner. I knew
I
he
didn't
was
know
a
that.
singer, and then I just knew of like the music he's released. I know he's also worked with J Balvin and stuff. So but that was really it. I really didn't follow him much, and I don't really follow him at all. I just never really had an interest in him.
Well, he's like super huge in the music industry. Like he is like legit. Like his
No, I
stream
believe
numbers.
that. Yeah,
Yeah,
because I know
but
he's
yes,
been nominated for Grammys. Like when I watch the Grammys and stuff like that, like I'm just like, oh, okay.
but yes, he is he has wrestled a few times.
So is he
And
a good
now,
wrestler?
oh yeah, he actually killed it. He wrestled at WrestleMania and Backlash. Watch some of his clips. Just look up WWE Bad Bunny because he did the song Booker T about the wrestler Booker T. It was perfect.
Oh, okay. Um, Going into the career though, the acting career of Bad Bunny, he was in F9. Surprisingly, did you remember him in F9?
No, that movie was like 4 years old. I can't remember that.
But then he was in another movie where he played himself in an animated short called Tieso lo Viejo. Please correct me in the comments.
Yeah, he has really had it. He hasn't really done a lot, to be honest.
But then he was in Bullet Train and then Cassandra, which I haven't watched yet.
He was
Which is
supposed
also,
to.
I think, a wrestling film.
I don't think so. No, I don't think it's so.
It's based on Saul Hernandez Cassandro, who was like, um, a,
It's
a
about
lucha libre wrestling. So it makes sense then if you're saying if he does all the wrestling stuff, he was in a
It's
wrestling
about
movie.
Saul Manderas. He was like a gay wrestler in Mexico. I don't follow lucha libre, but
No, But I also knew that Bad Bunny was part of the LGBTQ community.
Oh.
I knew that too. Because I remember when I was watching one of their award shows, he did kiss like somebody like during an award show. So
his English has gotten better though.
Yeah. Do you feel bad about his action movie getting canceled?
What, the Spider-Man movie?
Yes.
No. Because no one wanted that. No one cared about El Muerto. It was just another one of the Sony things just trying to make a Sony movie. It's just the way that the best joke about this movie is that the stars they die in like the most comedic ways, and it just makes it funny.
They do.
And it's a
wait, like, what is this? Do you know what his tattoo says on his neck?
I can't read that. I think it's
I gotta laugh for a second because I love the fact that Brad Pitt is cleaning up after the mess that he made.
Well, he's supposed to be Zen and everything, so it makes it adds to his character.
I know.
Because like he doesn't kill anyone. Like that's what I like about like him. He's like, I don't want to kill anyone. I just want the simple job and everything. Because he is turned over a new leaf, his character, and he's trying to like do better. He just keeps getting in these situations and like we later find out who his handler is Sandra Bullock. She does his best to just try to calm him down throughout the movie. He's like, I'm freaking out over here. Yeah. It's funny. It's great. I love it.
Oh, the glasses, the bug glasses, the cat glasses that they put on Logan Lerman's face as he's dead now.
Do you think the trailer for this movie gives away a lot, or does it do a good job just kind of keeping it vague?
I think they did a good job. I think they showed, pretty much of all the cameos except for like, the least ones, like, I don't want to say the other ones, like they don't give the White Death away. So
or who Carver is.
They don't give out like any of that. So I give them credit to that. So, I, admire that. So I never really thought they gave out a lot. I just was following, okay, there's a briefcase and there's Brad Pitt and it's a train. That was it. And that was enough for me. I just heard Brian Tyler Henry. He goes, "You are effing excused," to this old lady. Going into something else. So we have Benito killed off, Logan Lerman killed off now. I want to bring up Sandra Bullock, who's known as Maria Beetle. Another bug reference. This is at the same time, the same year, The Lost City was also released. Yep. That had Channing Tatum too, and Brad Pitt, and Sandra Bullock. Just a few months of that little window. I just thought that was really funny because that like when I was reading for this film, when you find out who shows up later on in the film, it makes sense. Like, okay, Lost City film first, and then this. You gotta
think about it. It was a good year for all of them, especially Channing Tatum, because he had that movie Dog too, and that was a really underrated movie.
I like Dog.
Dog made me actually emotional.
I remember that was also one of your top films of the year.
It was. It was really, really good.
But going into the David Leitch still universe, who do you think would be a good action star to work with David Leitch in the future?
Scott Adkins.
That would be a really good one. I wrote down potentially who I thought would be fun before he retires, Nicolas Cage.
I'd be down for that.
Because what he did in The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent, I think that would be really fun. Like if, David Leitch could have probably signed on to directing The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent with Pedro Pascal. That wouldn't have been as bad, And who knows, maybe he could work with Pedro Pascal. I wrote down Henry Cavill.
Mm-hmm.
I wrote down Jake Gyllenhaal because Jake Gyllenhaal has been starring in a couple in a fun action movies. You know, not too many serious films lately, but you know, some action films. Maybe Marky Mark Wahlberg,
And nah,
or going back to the classics, Liam Neeson.
he's busy with Naked Gun. I'm okay with that.
I could see like maybe even David Leitch directing a Naked Gun film.
Well, we gotta
If
see
a
how
new
this
one
one
comes, yeah. Knowing if the first film works out great, then you know, who knows? Maybe David Leitch could sign on for it. But that's who I'm thinking. But Scott Adkins would be a really, really good probably choice for that. Like I could see Scott Adkins as like a supporting role, like what we see in Bullet Train. Like he probably would have fit in really well in Bullet Train, you know?
Yeah.
Like maybe if Aaron Taylor Johnson wasn't in it, I could totally see him as whatchamacallit, Tangerine. But I do have to ask though, Tangerine or Lemon, who is better?
I can't remember who's who on the second.
Aaron Taylor Johnson is Tangerine and Brian Tyler Henry is Lemon.
Oh, Lemon, because of the Thomas the Tank Engine. It's fucking
Did
funny.
you have a favorite Thomas and the Tank Engine character?
Thomas.
Of course.
Actually, I like Percy.
Percy had, which was one of them that had serious attitude. One of them was one of the trains that had serious attitude.
I do not know.
Because I used to watch Thomas when I used to like nanny and babysit a lot for a lot of the kids that I used to, you know, and families I used to like, you know, take care of. So I haven't seen any, but I remember Thomas, Percy. Wasn't the pink one was Rose, I think, right?
I think so, yeah.
But
and right here in Bullet Train, we see how the stories start to connect because earlier, Brad Pitt recognized Lemon from being the guy that shot him in Johannesburg, and that's what made Brad Pitt be on the show for a while. So it connects to it, and he's like, "You long time no see." He's like, "Who are you?" He's like, "Who are you?" And he's like, "I shot a lot of guys. I don't know who you talk. I don't know who you are."
Brian Tyler and Harry and Aaron Taylor Johnson were busy, like you know, taking care of business. They
Yeah,
didn't care who it
he's
was.
like, "I don't know who the hell you are. I just randomly shot you, but okay." And what do you think about Brad Pitt's character just being this Zen person?
He's keeping his cool like a cucumber with half this shit, this you know stuff. You know, given the facts that you know, just saw Benito for a second. What he did, he does a really good job at keeping it cool. But once you know the fight sequences happen, you know that's when he like you know has to lose it. But you know, do you know what? If he wasn't named Ladybug, he could have been named Grasshopper.
I think Ladybug's funnier, honestly.
Ladybug, it fits it though. We're missing his bucket hat at where I am. As a bucket hat person, I was very excited to see that play out in the costume department.
Never been a bucket hat guy.
Oh my gosh. I am a bucket hat collector. I have a collection of bucket hats. I am not kidding. If you follow me on TikTok, you'll see me every once in a while wearing a bucket hat.
Yeah, that's true. Can confirm it.
So, in fact, my sister for my wedding, my sister made me a hat that says my husband's last name on it.
Oh my gosh.
And it's all white and pearls and stuff. It's really funny. I haven't worn it yet though. So for like any of the stuff we have recorded. I'll have to break it out maybe one day. Let's see. What else do I have in my notes here about David Leitch or any of the acting stuff? Let's get into let's talk about Aaron Taylor Johnson. Do you have a favorite role of his?
Kick ass. That's it.
Kick-Ass?
Yeah,
I mean,
literally
that's kind of like what started his action hero journey, you know?
Kick ass still.
Kick-Ass is definitely great. Did you like the sequel?
No, not really. That was
No.
that was a big. The problem is that you didn't have the original director. You know, it just didn't really. It just didn't. It didn't. It just didn't work. And the whole drama with Jim Carrey being in that movie, didn't want to promote it after the Sandy Hook thing. I'm just like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, it was bad timing.
And like,
But
Jim Carrey was okay in it. It was like, I don't know. It's just it wasn't the same as like I wanted it to be. As the first one is just special to me.
I also got to bring up the fact that Aaron Taylor Johnson wasn't just in Kick-Ass 2, but was in other action films like Godzilla. Remember that?
Hard to
That-
forget.
And then he was in Avengers Age of Ultron.
He died in that.
Yes, he did. And then I forgot he was even in Tenet, which I completely forgot about.
Was he?
Yes, he was Ives.
Who the hell was that in that movie?
Since it's been a minute since I've seen Tenet, I gotta relook it up. He was one of. They don't give much. Why is it not saying? It says that they're giving me lines. Ives theory and Tenet. Ives pulled the gun in response to something. I haven't seen Tenet since it's been released in theaters.
Yeah, it's been a minute.
So I don't remember who the hell Ives is. So you're gonna have to excuse me. All the Christopher Nolan fans just come after me in the comments because I don't remember. But yeah. I want to mention also really quick Craven Hunter.
Craven the Hunter.
Craven the Hunter,
Yes.
that getting pushed back again.
Because it's gonna be the best film of the year.
And is also being released around the same time as Nosferatu, which he's also starring in with
Can't wait.
Bill Skarsgård. Like, I'm excited for Nosferatu over Craven the Hunter. Like, I don't know what in the world is going on with Craven over there and Sony. This is also in the canon world of Sony. Again, what is going on with Sony in this stuff?
At least called product placement.
Well, no, I'm not talking about that, but I'm meaning Sony and the release dates.
Oh, because they're realizing that, we're running out of money because these keep bombing. So we need to push this back as far as we can to limit the casualties.
When I first saw the trailer for Craven the Hunter, I was like, okay, maybe I can get behind this, but now that they keep pushing it behind, like how they've been doing it with like Morbius, they did with Morbius, I'm gonna forget, and I'm probably gonna skip it. And the only way I'm probably gonna be able to watch it is if we decide to record an episode on it. Let us know if you want us to do an episode on Craven the Hunter in the future.
Fuck no. Just
Matt,
no.
you're putting that out there in the
No,
universe.
hell no. I'm not doing that. I'm so sick of these Sony movies. It's not even a joke. Like, I'm genuinely like, Madam Web broke me. I'm so over this shit. Just stop it.
I gotta see what Sony else's has got coming up. Let's see. Sony's got the Garfield movie coming up. Oh, and they just released Tarot.
Oh yeah, I heard Taro's terrible.
Oh, I heard a lot of stuff about Tarot and it being
And I can't wait to
not
watch it.
good. I'm skipping Tarot. Oh, when they got Bad Boys for Life, you said you wanted to see that.
Yes, I do, because the last one was pretty good.
And that was also released by Sony. So you might have to get out of being tired for Sony.
No, I'm not tired of Sony. I'm just tired of the superhero movies. That's the problem. Like the Spider-Verse thing, because it's not working.
One last thing for Sony. Are you going to see Harold the Purple Crown?
What is that one?
You don't know the book?
No,
of Harold the Purple Crown?
no,
Crockett Johnson? It's the children's book?
no. The only children's books I read was just The Giving Tree, and Cat in the Hat, and Go Dog Go.
Oh, go doggo. Oh, there's cheating. Here's another thing. Here's where they talked about the Lost City.
That was like when I saw him in this, I'm like, okay, like, because I'm like, man, Channing Tatum was a great. And it's like I think I made a joke. I said they must have been like on set at the same time. Like, hey, you want to be in my movie? Sure. You
Yeah,
want to be in
you
my
want to be
movie?
in my movie? Yeah, all right. This was easy. This was fine. You know, we're in tough times of COVID. Just come in.
Channing Tatum has like a funny ass cameo with this movie. To be honest with you,
It's really good.
he's like, because it's implied that his character's gay. It's like, is this like a sex thing? Like, what's up? He's like, oh no. It's like, oh, I'm sorry. It's like I like a guy with an accent. I'm like, what the hell?
It's just silly.
But no, Channing Tatum has had a good comeback because, like I said, he did Dog. Because I think post 22 Jump Street, he had Logan Lucky, then he did Dog, then he did this, and then Lost City. Magic Mike sucked the last one, but you know,
I just got into the accent part. Oh, that's so good.
is this the sex stuff?
Oh,
This
oops. I'm in the scene where they got to the bathroom with Joey King and the briefcase and Andrew's character.
there is you know what? In a weird way, I do think Joey King kind of looks cute in this movie. Maybe it's just the face. It's the face.
Maybe it's the eyeliner. She kind of looks like a doll.
She does. I think maybe that was a point, honestly. Now that I think about it, because she is the prince, which is a weird nickname because it's the girl, but I guess a girl could be a prince too, right? I don't know.
Well, yeah, that was bringing up the connection of the irony. She was in at the same time. She played the princess in The Princess that was released on Hulu, and then she plays a character called the Prince. So
Funny.
yeah, irony of that. I don't know for sure yet, but did we get to Zazie Beetz?
She should be coming
her
up
scene?
soon. She is my favorite cameo in this movie because it's like her character. So if you guys don't know, Zazie Beetz, she's from Italy. She's an Atlanta alumni too, but she's more, I guess, more known for being Domino in Deadpool 2 and in Joker as
Yeah.
but her character, she's like a Venom like assassin. It is revealed that she was the one that killed Bad Bunny's like family and like at the wedding and his wife by
Yeah.
poisoning them, and she's looking for a snake because there's a news alert in the beginning of the movie saying like a venomous snake is on the loose, and that's the snake she used for the venom, and that's what's later revealed used to kill Logan Lerman. But her one quirk in this movie that I love is that every time she's going to do something, it's like, "You took my snake, bitch." You says "bitch" everything. She's like that Rick and Morty joke with Scary
no.
Terry. He's like, "You can run, but you can't hide, bitch." It's just at the end of search is bitch. I'm like, why? It's funny, you know.
This is the second time too. Zazie Beetz has worked with David Leitch too, since they worked in Deadpool 2 together.
Is she gonna be in the third movie?
I
I don't know if that was confirmed.
was trying to avoid as many spoilers as I can for Deadpool 3.
At this point, I don't even know. I don't even know who's gonna be in the movie because I don't even know if Josh Brolin's gonna be.
Because I was only concerned about Hugh Jackman and Ryan Reynolds being together in this movie. So Deadpool and the Wolverine is gonna have Emma Corrin, Hugh Jackman, Karan Sony, Matthew McAfee. I can't say his name because I love his character on Succession. McFadden. I think
McFadden.
McFadden. Thank you. But it doesn't look like Zazie Beetz is gonna be in it, from what I could see. But I'm not sure.
Well, we don't know. This seems like Deadpool 3 is gonna have like a lot of surprises. So I'm
excited for Deadpool 3.
I'm all for that because I do like surprises.
I was avoiding so many spoilers or any kind of news that was surrounding it. I was just only watching the trailers. And that was it. Where's your twin, Tangerine?
The thing I like about Bullet Train is that it kind of feels like something out of the 80s, like an 80s action movie too, from time to
Yeah,
time.
it kind of does feel like they don't do this.
And I don't know, anything that's set in Japan, I love Japan. That's like my dream place to go.
That's where my husband also wants to go to.
I feel like it anything that takes place in Japan, I feel like it's just better.
Asian
That's
culture too is very interesting. So
that's why I like the Wolverine a lot.
the Wolverine is great.
Yeah, especially like I don't know, the setting of Japan is perfect too.
It's a beautiful place from
It
everywhere
is.
I
It
see,
is.
like on like Instagram, or if somebody like does a vlog or something that comes like on my TikTok page.
hmm
I always am intrigued.
And there's the snake that we mentioned before. It's on the loose.
Are you a snake guy?
No, not really.
No, I am not. If I was on that set, I'd be screaming, and I'd be
You,
be like get me away from that thing.
you also mentioned earlier that you could tell this is a pandemic film, and now that I'm starting to like watch it with that in mind, it does look a lot like they filmed it because everyone seems very far apart. They're not close. They kind of seem like there's some scenes where they are together, but there's some scenes where it feels like they're not there.
There's not many actors on in the scene.
Yeah, because it's just
I mean, it works
it
for
works
how
because
they filmed it, but it's so obvious, like how they filmed it, like on a sound stage.
well, it's
Like I
obvious,
said,
but
this like I was reviewing, going back and watching my review for it, and just looking back at my notes when I first did my review of Deadpool. You can tell they did this on a sound stage.
well, you can tell, but at least they know how to hide it well. Like they do a good job of like making it not seem like that at ways. There's some where it is obvious, but I think it is does a good job.
Like at the very third act,
Oh yeah, no, that is
that
up.
was like
That is,
so
yeah.
obvious. I was like, all right, well. But no, I am not a snake person, so. Oh, also, I'm not sure we didn't even get to mention this yet, but the prince and Joey King's character and Logan Lerman, who Logan Lerman is named the son, they're brother and sister.
Yeah, she has a deep resentment for it because her dad had always favored the son. He never really
The
paid
son
attention to her.
character too was always the troublemaker.
Yeah, that's the worst part.
They mentioned that, and she took herself so seriously and wanted to be liked by her dad, which is the White Dragon. And then the fact that they don't show Sandra Bullock a lot in this film, it was just like, all right, you're filming this at home or in a sound stage.
What's funny is
she
that
doesn't
like
show up until the end.
What's funny is that like I like how they try to keep her like as a secret, especially in the trailers. Like the first trailer, you don't know, but like
I thought they showed her like
they showed her in the
glimpse.
second one. But like if they never showed her, if you heard her voice, you knew it was Sandra Bullock. Like she has that recognizable voice.
She's just likable in the beginning. Like she's been around forever, like Brad Pitt. So, and I think Brad Pitt and her previously did a movie together, and I think they did. And I'm gonna look it up.
They did.
What was the film? Not this one, obviously. Let me think. And it wasn't The City of Z. I thought it was something else. I thought they did like something else like a long time ago. I just see something right here. Brad Pitt and Sandra Bullock planned a comedy about divorced QVC hosts that never got made. We developed a whole idea.
So
that would have been something.
So the only Sandra Bullock Brad Pitt movies are Don't Look Up, The Lost City, and Bullet Train. So it feels like those two are definitely it feels like they did more movies together, not just a couple. which is
I
weird.
forgot that Sandra Bullock was in Don't Look Up.
I didn't like Don't Look Up, to be honest with you. I know you liked it. I was just
No, I
wasn't.
did not.
Oh no, you didn't. That's right. I don't know. I
I
just
stood on that ground like I did not look at it. No, Sandra Bullock was not in Don't Look Up. Were you thinking of Jennifer Lawrence?
I just Googled it and it said she was right there.
She was not in it from what I see in the notes here, and even from what I recall. I was like, I don't remember that, because I remember people even like Matthew Perry and Gina Gershaw. Like, I know they were supposed to be in it, but they got cut.
Maybe she got cut.
I don't think, or maybe she was never casted to begin with, unless Google and the algorithm are trying to tie those two together. Oh gosh, the air toilet, the blow drying toilet. Oh.
It looks like kind of though.
No,
literally me. Occupied. Not coming yet.
yeah. People have got to use that bathroom. Oh no, not Aaron Taylor Johnson showing up.
Uh-oh.
Oh. I love all these scenes with
Yeah, the action
the
scenes are
action sequences.
good.
They're like, I'm rewatching this, and since I had so much hype even after seeing The Fall Guy, it makes me so excited to watch these. Do you think David Leitch would direct like maybe even like Jackie Chan in like a fun like kung fu movie?
Well, not now because Jackie's a little too old for that. But back in the day, most likely it'd probably be like the guy from Shang-Chi.
Oh yes, Semi Liu, I think
Yes.
that's how you say his name.
There's moments like these that makes it great. They're like, "Yep, let's just stop fighting." It's like, "Hey, can I get a water, please?" He's like, "That's like
Sparkling or
$5."
still.
He's like, "It's $5." Damn. He's like, I left my wallet at the train station." He makes the guy he's fighting pay for the water. What an asshole.
I like the fact he's even thinking like how to like, take him down.
It's just funny. It's just like he's like, "Hey, can you? I left my wallet. Do you mind?" But I don't know. It's like a movie like this makes you want to see Brad Pitt and Aaron Taylor Johnson do something together in the
Do
future.
more.
Yeah,
Definitely.
like it could work. Like I'm saying, like I know I don't want a sequel to Bullet Train or anything, but I know Aaron Taylor Johnson's character can't come back. But
Yeah.
like I just think that there's so much that they can do with like just have them do another movie together, please.
Or even do like a prequel with Tangerine.
Well, I don't know because we kind of get the prequel in this movie with the flashbacks. I feel like it.
Fair.
You sure you don't want to talk this through?
What's that?
No, I'm just want the scene where he just launches the water bottle at him. Oh my
I
goodness.
mean, it's got to get in your eyes because it's sparkling.
The hard bottle too.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, and what do you think about the thing of people saying Aaron Taylor Johnson could be James Bond? To be honest, I kind of don't see
I
it.
mean, it's not a bad one, but I wouldn't love it. You know? Like I don't buy him as James Bond. And
No,
maybe I would have to see him in a movie or like in other more action films to
I
buy
feel like
it.
Taron Egerton could be James Bond because he kind of is with Kingsman.
Yes.
I keep saying that, and everyone's like, "Well, he could be Wolverine." I'm like, "No, I want him as James Bond because he kind of is.
Yes.
He is James Bond with he's Eggsy and Kingsman."
I mean, yeah. So, that would be so good. I would pay top dollar for that.
Like it's harder because I don't know because Daniel Craig has set such a high bar. Like whoever falls is gonna have a hard time.
It's
doing
hard to beat, Daniel Craig, but then again, I did not love the last two James Bond films. So,
Well, remember you didn't like Spectre?
no,
I like Spectre.
I was disappointed. I think my favorite though, it's hard to top Skyfall. That's the only thing. Cuz Skyfall is just so effing good.
I think
But
with what was it, No Time to Die? Like that was just hammered by like production issues.
yeah, and then Rami Malek as the villain did not sell
Well,
it
that
for me.
well that was because he had just come off his only notable role. Well, I was joking. I like Mr. Robot. His Oscar-winning role as Freddie Mercury, and
Oh
has
yeah, and then also
hasn't really done anything
Mr.
since.
Robot, like
Yeah, Mr. Yeah. He hasn't really done anything. Has he done anything since then?
he was in Doolittle with
Oh, yeah, he was in Oppenheimer. I forgot.
I forgot he was in Oppenheimer. He was in The
In
Little
Amsterdam.
Things. I forgot he was in Amsterdam. He was in The Little Things.
Yes.
With Denzel Washington, which wasn't that good.
We reviewed that 3 years ago.
Oh yeah, and we also damn, that's crazy.
He's also going to be doing The Amateur, which is coming out next year. It's based on the 1981 novel of the same name, and he's going to do Nuremberg. Ooh, maybe. And he's a leading man, directed by
I know
James.
he's dating. Going back to David Leitch, he's dating Emma Corrin. Apparently, this is
who's
just
that?
speculation. They are the actress who was in The Crown.
Oh, I didn't watch The Crown.
No, I didn't either, but I know of them from also starring in The Policeman with Harry Styles.
Oh, that movie. Yeah, I didn't watch that either.
And then they are also going to be starring in Nosferatu.
Who else is going to be in Nosferatu? Isn't that Nicholas Hoult in that one?
Yes.
He is Nosferatu, correct?
No, Bill Skarsgård is.
Oh yeah. He's also going to be the wow. He's going to be in a movie that's probably going to be terrible, and then he's going to be in a movie that actually could be good. What is the odds of that? Because did you see you saw the Crow trailer, right?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I don't know. It gave me the vibes. I think we might have talked a little about it on the podcast here.
I don't think we did because I think that came out. Did we? Shit, I don't.
We might have mentioned it because it gave me Jared Leto vibes.
Okay, yep, we did because I did a poll. I told you I did that poll, and everyone said it reminds me of Jared Leto's Joker.
Just the way he looked, I was like, oh no. I mean, do I still want to watch it? Yeah, but I feel like
I just don't like FK Twigs as the love interest.
Yeah, I don't know if I really like her as an actress.
She's not good, in my opinion.
I mean, like the only role I remember her starring in was in the Shia LaBeouf movie.
Isn't that how they got together?
I think they might have. Like, I don't know. I don't really follow Shia LaBeouf really.
Well, no, because she accused
too
them.
much.
She accused them of all that stuff.
Yeah, I remember she was accusing him of all that stuff. But like,
I think that's when
know
they
if they got
together.
like actually like into a couples thing.
No, they were.
Yeah. Okay. I believe you. Yeah. Oh, all right, but let's get back into the film. How are we doing? I'm about an hour left. How about you?
We're at the same part, so we are both at an hour left.
Zilla. Well, I don't know if he got delayed or not. So
no, it's been playing.
And you can tell too, going into the stuff how this was filmed on a soundstage. Just by the way, if you look at the windows to the train.
Oh yeah, definitely.
It looks so bad. Like it looks
if you actually shot on a bullet train, it'd be kind of damn near impossible too.
I know, but the way, oh, excuse me, does not look great. But they did what they can, and I give them credit. You do what you can.
Oh, he just dropped it. He said Fall Guy confirmed. This was 2 years before. I was joking.
Hint, hint, hint.
Yeah.
This
Maybe
was the next project canon is the Fall Guy set in the same universe
Actually,
as Bullet Train.
speaking of the 87 North, I was thinking about Chad Stileski. He is from the town I moved to now. He's from here.
Really?
Yeah.
That's cool. I
It
wonder
is.
if he'll ever like revisit, or maybe he should do a film there.
I would hope so, because there's a restaurant. So I moved to Palmer in Massachusetts, and there's a restaurant called Steaming Tender, which is like, I guess it's like a big train restaurant in the Northeast. And
Okay.
I guess Vanilla Ice visited there before his performance at the Big E a few years ago, and he's got a picture. So it could be there could be time, but yeah, he is from where I'm living at now, which is pretty cool.
Going into the work of Chad. Let's
I'm
dive in.
excited for him, but I'm surprised he didn't do a producer. He wasn't a producer for this, because it seems like him and David are friends.
Yeah, because knowing they worked on the John Wick films together and Day Shift.
And both stuntmen.
Yeah. He was the second unit director and also the stunt coordinator of a favorite film of yours, Mac.
Birds of Prey.
Yes.
Fuck that movie. Also, shout out to him as supervising stunt coordinator in Speed Racer.
Oh, one of your favorites.
Yes.
I remember that.
I have, like, I don't know, recently the respect for stuntmen. I've had respect for stuntmen for years, but I just feel like there is definitely that push to start to get them more Oscar credits. And I'm all for that, because they really do put their bodies on line for entertainment.
I do want to bring up Chad is also doing the stunt work in Deadpool and Wolverine.
Yes, he is.
But I did not know that he was the second unit director for Hitman Agent 47.
Which one? The Timothy Olyphant one, or the
this one is the Rupert Find.
Oh, okay.
So the one nobody saw.
All three people watched.
Oh, whoops. I don't want to pull my Zoom link up. Oh, this Andrew just gets beat up more and more out of everybody.
He's just trying to get revenge for his son, and he just keeps getting screwed over.
Oh my god, I gotta mention this. This is so silly with Aaron Taylor Johnson. He is surviving on that train.
When he gets to the train,
he is gripping.
Like, yeah. I will say that is one of the things
train.
I'm like, okay, guys, let's not go that far, please.
I forgot that Brian Taylor Henry has an accent in this film.
Yeah, I don't know when he does his accent. I think it's kind of dumb sometimes, a little bit.
It takes me out. Like, I forgot. I was like, wait a second. I was like, wait a second. I was like, isn't there? I'm like, no, Brian.
He needs
you
to
don't
stop.
have an accent.
He needs to stop, because he does that a few times whenever movies I do. You ever notice that?
He's from North Carolina. He can't have an accent like that.
That's the worst. Yeah, like, he does that sometimes. I'm like, dude, what are you doing?
Oh, and the fake crying with Joey King. I'm just a kid, please.
That's like with Lemon, his character. He seeing Thomas Sega, he can see. He's like, I see through people.
And then she just gives up the act. She's like, I'm bad. Everyone loves lemons. I'm surprised. I forgot how long he is actually Aaron Taylor Johnson is riding on the back of that bullet train.
He's on there for a good bit.
And it's amazing how he doesn't die.
Well, I
Like, he
mean,
doesn't go,
in real life, he would have flown like right off.
"Oh, Tangerine." Did you think he was first gonna die in the way the way this film plays out with the events?
Honestly, a little bit, yeah. But then I realized that he's like, I kind of feeling he maybe had that bulletproof chest because it's one of those things, you're bringing up the thing in the movie, and then it it pays off at the end. And then poor Brad Pitt, he just wants to get off the train. He does not want to do this anymore.
He was just supposed to deliver the briefcase and just be done. It wasn't supposed to be this intense.
She just wanted. The funny thing is that he just wanted to just have just an easy snatch job for his first one back.
Oh, there's Channing again.
Jesus.
Have you recommended this movie to anybody?
Yeah,
Like,
me and my friends for Christmas one year, or when it came out on Netflix, we all watched it on Netflix because I told them we need to watch this movie.
oh, there's Azzy Beats.
As a freaking mascot, like, okay.
I'm not gonna lie, that little character is cute.
It is.
Dangerously cute. Because the Hornet killed Logan Lerman's character.
Like I said,
And Benito's family.
it's just the little things that just all add up, and it's just funny. And it's just like you're like, oh, that's not gonna matter, and then you're like, oh, wait, okay, that's actually kind of funny. It does matter.
You sneakies. We should really call the authorities.
You stole my snake, bitch. I am like a minute behind you, I think.
Yeah, that's all right. We got the same point. Oh,
You stole my snake, bitch. She just keeps saying it. I watched it for like, is that part of her character? It makes it
to be,
funnier.
to be fair, too, going to back to the film itself, if you didn't tell me this was based on a book, I would have believed this was its own original story.
Yeah, and honestly, I would have thought it would have been based on like an anime because I feel like this would have been like an anime.
Mm-hmm.
The hornet stings, bitch.
Yeah, it didn't like go into his body, but yeah, clever.
Actually, when I told my mom we are gonna do this for an episode, I told her, I was like, man, this is like one of my favorite parts. It's just they're doing the stare down for the antidote. Then he puts it in his body. He's like, you bitch. He's like, oh, do you have another one of those? He's like, what do you think, bitch? I was like, it's funny. He's like, what do you think, bitch? To be fair, she should have probably carried an extra one just in case if stuff like that happened.
Yeah.
What do you think, bitch?
I mean, that's pretty scary to have blood coming out of your eyes like that.
Yeah, it's a little terrifying.
The water, you want some water? No. He
At least
tries to be so helping towards
it
her, but no,
works.
she's dying. Nothing could save her. Nothing could save her.
You want some water?
Nothing could save her. Mama is a bitch, bringing my life 'cause it loves me. Flexing like a goddamn Abercrombie. Oh, this movie. I mean, Zazie Beetz isn't really in it for that long. Nor is
Yeah.
Benito.
And I think it's funnier because like the two assassins are like they get killed off so early.
Oh, now we just got to the part where Tangerine finds Lemon what he thinks
It was pretty
is
it
dead.
was a pretty emotional, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Because it is like they are essentially like pretty much brothers.
Yeah, they are brothers. They saw each other as brothers.
And it's cute.
Sentimental scene. He's gonna go after now. He's like, I gotta go after the person who did this to you.
And he thinks it's Brad Pitt.
Mm-hmm. Oh, the necklace. Oh.
The soundtrack in this movie is kind of underrated. There are some good
Yeah.
songs, especially "Staying Alive." That's what made me want to see because their remix of "Staying Alive" was catchy as hell. Like "Staying Alive."
I wanted to bring up some trivia if you're here about this film.
What?
According to IMDb, Brad Pitt apparently did 95% of his own stunts in this film, according to stunt coordinator Greg Redenmeter, with the main exceptions of being hard falls and the running scenes. He also wanted his character to grow an increasing number of bruises, cuts, and more accumulating, and at least 3 golf ball size lumps. But they talked him out of it.
I mean, I can see where he's coming from. Actually, first of all, kudos on him doing some of that because I do feel like it wouldn't be hard to do some of the stunts in this movie if you're gonna like not like
Well,
bad,
now that
bad.
he is like
In his
60?
50s. Yeah,
Or
60.
is it 60s? I don't remember.
I don't think he's in his 60s. I think he's
Yeah,
in his
60.
late 50s.
He's
Oh.
60s. Uh-huh.
Well, I think there's some things he could probably do in a movie, but he's not going to go all out. But I do like the idea he had for that because, like, by the end of the movie, he looks all like bruised up and battered, and it works because he has been through legit hell, and it's perfect.
I want to actually go back because I'm seeing more about David Leitch and Brad Pitt. They do have a long track record too. Because David Leitch did his multiple stunts for him for Fight Club and Ocean's 11 and what we were saying, Troy and Mr. and Mrs. Smith.
And that can link to Chad too, because Chad was the stunt double for Keanu Reeves in Matrix. So these stunt coordinators, whenever it's always been the history of the stunt coordinators, once they get like with the person, they kind of are linked for life because you can always give them a favor. Because that's how do you know that's how Cannonball Run got made?
Really?
Yeah, because Burt Reynolds stunt coordinator. Let me make sure I get the name right. Hold on. Cannonball Runner. Okay. Yep. So Hal Needman, he was the stunt coordinator. He was a stunt man for Burt Reynolds with Smokey and the Bandit, Hooper and everything. So then he directed Cannonball Run, and you know, he wasn't back then. You couldn't be a stunt man and be like, "Hey, I'm gonna make a movie." Like, you can't do that. Like, you're not qualified. And he called Burt Reynolds. He's like, "Hey, you want to help me make a movie?" He's like, "Yeah, sure, I'll help you, and I'll get like Sally Fields and everyone like that."
Right.
And like everyone was like, "You can't do that. You can't work with like a first time director who hasn't have experience. It's dumb." And it made like a ton of money. And like,
Yeah.
and yeah, that's like I guess that's like one of the first instances of a stuntman who has worked with an actor just getting him for a movie, because I feel like they have a respect for you because they're literally putting their body on the line portraying you, and it works.
Yeah. Definitely. I think that's why a lot of stunt coordinators really get along with the actors,
And
because
the
they
actors,
also have to get the same mannerisms and
yep.
same thing, but they're, like you said, they're putting their lives on the line, whether they are catching themselves on fire or,
And
jumping out of a car or something crazy. I mean, we'll talk about that too when we discuss The Fall Guy.
I think that's why Keanu likes working with Chad too, because they've been like working together for years, honestly.
Mhm.
And to be honest, when Chad does Ghost of Tsushima, I want to see Keanu Reeves in that somehow, some way, please.
Here's something about Aaron Taylor Johnson going from the trivia. Aaron Taylor Johnson lost a chunk of his hand and passed out after doing a stunt.
Not surprised.
That's a lot. I want to know which one that is. Like, what stunt that caused him to do that?
Probably punching the glass.
I don't know about that. It had to be the scene maybe with Brad Pitt where they were fighting earlier with, the glass, water and stuff. What we saw earlier with the smart toilet where it was blowing Brad Pitt's hair.
Mhm.
According to the IMDb page for the trivia, the smart toilet was Brad Pitt's idea, brought up only the day before shooting the scene. Let's see what else we got here. Oh, here's something crazy. This is according to the trivia again from Bullet Train. Sandra Bullock replaced Lady Gaga in this movie.
Thank God.
You're not a fan?
No, her. I do not like. I don't know. I'm not a
All
big
right,
Lady
that's
Gaga
gonna have
fan
to be
when
a
it comes.
discussion for another day.
No, we've said this numerous times. I brought this up numerous times. I just don't think. I think Sandra Bullock's better with this one.
Yeah. Let's see.
That'll probably be me. Like if I ever my last breath, I'll call someone a
Yeah.
fucking bellend. Are you still looking up trivia?
Yeah. Let's see. I was gonna bring up. I was like trying to find something interesting. Let's see. Here. The notable differences between the novel and the film. The White Death is a character created specifically for the film and doesn't appear in the source novel. In the novel, Megasinski's son, the one who I think is the father character, son who Tangerine and Lemon are trying to oh no, this is the White Death. Sorry, excuse me. In the novel with the White Death's son, who Tangerine and Lemon are trying to transport back to his father, the prince is a male character aged 14, and in the Kimura's appearance on the train is not connected with everything else that is going on. Ladybug's name is also Nanino. Lemon dies instead of Tangerine. The hostess is the Hornet. The train doesn't crash at the end of the novel. So those are some things about the novel with the differences.
Also, the funny thing is that the Thomas the Tank Engine thing with Lemon that actually is in the novel too, which is funny because I thought that was made up for the movie just for that, but no, that's actually in the book. That's actually that's funny.
I mean, to be fair, Thomas has been around for like ever, so
They're
and
like,
given the fact that it was released in 2015, it makes sense.
Like we have to. Well, no, the novel was 2010.
2010. I mean, excuse me. I thought it was 2015.
I was like, we have to make this part of the character. Like, honestly, I'm down for that. That's funny.
Okay, here's another thing about lemons and tangerines. This is also from the IMDb page from the trivia. Lemons and tangerines, the fruits, belong to the exact same genus family and the clades as one another. This could mean that the characters lemon and tangerine are in fact related by blood. Although rare, there have been multiple real-world accounts of mixed twins being born to interracial parents.
I mean, it was kind of. I think it was implied. That's why like they were like brothers. And it works because they do have a good like sibling relationship.
They're best friends.
And Brad Pitt got bit by the venom snake.
There's a lot more trivia here. I do want to mention Aaron Taylor Johnson and the character of the White Dragon previously starred in Together Nocturnal Animals, which was released in 2016. Didn't think of that until now. They
I
did
didn't see
share
that.
scenes. They did not share scenes together in the movie. Their only interaction was this film is via cell phone.
Interesting.
I mean, if you think about it, when we see the interaction with Aaron and the White Dragon character, it is already shown that like that character's already, dead.
Mm-hmm.
You know. Uh the highest was Jeremiah. I sorry, I'm coming around like all sorts of different fun facts. I love looking at trivia for films because
I
it makes
know.
me so excited to like find out what little clues are in the film and what I miss. Like that's my favorite part. I mean, I'm not always also great at trivia too, but this is a cute. I like seeing trivia. I love learning something new. Do you feel sympathy for any of the characters that happened for this film too?
Besides
Besides the Tangerine and Lemon?
Brad Pitt, Ladybug, because he's generally the thing I like about Brad Pitt's character is that he doesn't mean any harm. He kind of just wanted to just do the job and go. And he's just kind of get wrapped up in it. Like this poor man, like just let him go home. Other than that, no, I don't really feel bad for anyone else. And I gotta say that the grandfather character, played by the extremely talented um Hiroki Sanada, he is like one of my favorite actors, like of all time working. He has been in so many great things. I think the first thing I saw him in was Rush Hour 3 when he was Jackie Chan's brother in that movie, The Villain. But
Mm-hmm.
he's just a great actor. He's in John Wick Chapter 4. Um, he is also in Shogun. He was Army of Dead, and of course, he was in he was in Mortal Kombat, and he plays Scorpion. Like this man is a badass, legit, and he's a
Is he
martial
going to be
artist.
in the new Mortal Kombat movie?
Yes, he's Scorpion. He is the Scorpion.
Okay, well, I haven't seen the new Mortal Kombat, so
It is okay. It's fine.
I remember when you reviewed it.
It is
So-
fine. Everyone was like, "Man, this is better than the '90s movie." I'm like, "That is a low bar to clear, my friend."
Yeah.
Actually,
I mean, even the sequel, I mean,
there are people who saying that the 2021 Mortal Kombat was worse than the sequel. I'm like, what the hell are you talking about?
ugh.
You're gonna tell me that the sequel is better than this one? Okay, my friend.
I could see maybe down the road if the new one does well, maybe like David Leitch could direct Mortal Kombat. Or not.
No, actually, nope. I think he could do that. That'd be perfect, actually, because it's like a lot of stunt work. Definitely a lot of Oh wait, this is my favorite. He's like, I'm gonna tell you a story. He's like, nah, I'm good. It's short. It's quick. Nah, I'm
Yeah.
good. No, I'm fine. I don't want to do it. That's me. Whatever. He just tells it anyway. He's
That's
like,
different. I feel like when we record sometimes. Do you want to tell a story? No,
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 no, I'm good.
no.
It's a quick one. I swear. No, I'm good. No, I'm good. Just please don't. That's me. Whenever like I'm at work, I'm like, please don't talk to me. Let me.
That's
work,
anybody
please.
at work. You're like, just leave me alone, please. I want to get my work done.
It's a quick story though. Please leave me alone.
That's like if anybody asks you how your weekend is when you're at work. Oh, how was your weekend? All right, just say it was good. Don't tell me what you did.
Well, I'll say what I did if you want to ask, but I won't be like,
You
hey,
know,
I
I'm kidding on that.
oh, I'll just say like I did this and that, and then that's it. Like, don't continue the conversation after that. Leave me alone.
Do you like the mask of the white dragon?
I actually do.
It's kind of scary.
And at this point, the grandfather, the elder character, kind of does everything in connecting the story as a whole, because it kind of starts with him and he's like explaining to like your nickname's the Ladybug. You are like the one that connects everyone together on this.
Brad Pitt saying myself, I said yes to the wrong job for this to bring
Pretty
over this
much, yeah.
briefcase.
But no, Hiroki is such a good Scorpion. Like, he is a good actor.
I want to apologize. I don't know if I've been saying the White Dragon, but White Death is the name of the thing of the character. But I apologize if I say White Dragon. I'm so sorry for my lapse of judgment.
I was realizing Andrew Kochi played Storm Shadow and Snake Eyes. That's where I remember him from, because I'm like, that guy looks familiar. I never could put my name of what he looked like.
I'm trying to think back. Was this rated R?
Yes, this is a horror movie.
Yeah. Because I'm trying to think back. Because Deadpool 2 was 13. Fall Guy that was recently released was 13. I mean, it did pretty well for a rated R action movie.
Well, they usually do good from time to time.
Yeah.
P-13 is just good to get like the younger people into. This is like a hard R movie.
Mm-hmm.
And they're cussing and doing all that.
Yeah. I don't, if they maybe like did some, cut their ways around it, it wouldn't have been as bad for a PG-13 film.
I mean, it wouldn't have been as bad, but I feel like it would have kind of left out a lot of good stuff, to be honest.
Yeah. I mean, it would have left out a lot of the intense blood and
I will
stuff that
say
you see.
it is very light on the cursing. It's mostly rated R just for the
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 blood.
violence. Yeah.
The blood that we see, a lot of blood.
It's one of the rare
Violence.
rated R films was like the violence
Mm-hmm.
is light. I mean, the violence is heavier than the story.
Wait, he's wearing the vest.
Yep, and it was like hints of that. He's like, because Tangerine was telling him, "Hey, put on that bulletproof vest." He's like, no, I don't need one. I'm good. He actually wore it,
Yeah.
and he was sedated too with that sleeping powder that Brad Pitt put in earlier.
Yeah. This is the part where we get the sticker. This is my favorite part.
He is truly Thomas the Tank Engine.
To be holding Thomas the Tank Engine stickers, which I find really funny.
It's just emotional because he lost his brother.
Yeah.
Because they had like one dot. It's sadder because one thought Tangerine died thinking Lemon was dead, and then Lemon was alive, and he now sees that he's dead. So, do you think this movie looks better during the night or when? Because we're about to get into the daytime. Do you think it looks a little bit more fake during the sun scenes, like the daytime scenes?
I mean, it works well for, the ending for the last act of what happens with the Joey King character. The way
That was fun. Oh my god, that was
yeah,
funny.
which we'll get to eventually because we're like at the very, very end.
Yeah, we're on the home stretch right now.
We're on like the cusp of the end. I think we have about like 20 minutes left.
About that, yeah.
Yeah. So the way how it wraps up at the end is really funny with Joey King's character. But I think it's more intense at night because it's like the dark hours of the night.
Well, it shows that like how far, like how long this movie has gone.
Yeah. It's set over the course of one night, so and not even 24 hours, so where the plums more fruit.
He's just like, wait, what?
You shot my brother. You shot my son. Facts.
He's like, yeah, you're right. He's like,
Yeah.
well, it was by accident.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's facts. Joy King is hiding.
Joe Bug. I think the third act of this film, like the film's been good up to this point, but the third act is like kind of what makes it better.
Come together.
Yeah, because it becomes like just so ridiculous. And now we find out who the White Death is, and surprise, surprise, it's Michael Shannon. I'm like, okay, all
That
right.
was a bold casting choice. I was like, wow.
I was
I remember
surprised.
seeing that soon.
I was like, Michael Shannon? All right, cool.
I was like, wow. I was like, saying my first Channing Tatum, Zazie Beats, Benito, Aaron Taylor Johnson, Brad Pitt. Now we got Michael Shannon. Like, I was like saying to myself, are you kidding me? Like,
the funniest thing is that's not even the wildest person yet that we've gotten to. We'll see it in like a second.
Yeah, I mean, the casting is like the casting level is like top notch here.
Are you a Michael Shannon fan?
I do love Michael Shannon.
What's your favorite role he's done?
Ooh, that's so hard. I mean, I mentioned earlier Nocturnal Animals. Do you remember when he played Bigfoot?
I think so.
There was a movie where he like kind of was like Bigfoot in a movie. And I think it's called Pottersville.
No, I did not see that.
It came out like many years ago.
Okay.
It's like 2017. And it had like Judy Greer,
Oh my goodness.
Christina Hendricks, and stuff like that.
I don't think I've heard of this. I have to check it out. It's called Pottersville.
Yeah, and better yet, it's a Christmas comedy.
Oh, that might be on the list this year. Thank you for
Yeah, you're gonna have to put that on the list.
I gotta find this movie now.
Yeah. I mean, let's see. I do. I like him in The Shape of Water, even though I find that movie to be really overrated.
Moving on. I still
As I hear the hate comments coming in, I like him in this movie where he was with Chris Evans called The Iceman.
I think I remember that one.
It's based on a true story, like serial killer movie. So, but I do like him in Take Shelter, which is like another old film, which starred him and Jessica Chastain.
I think I remember that. I do say the one movie I liked him in. It's not a good movie, but it's kind of good. It's no, the movie's not good, but he's good in it. Is That's Fahrenheit 451 because I love the book.
Mm-hmm.
But then the movie with because it was the one with Michael B. Jordan,
Yes.
and it was not a good movie, but I think he was a good antagonist. He's a good actor. I even liked
He's good. Like
him as Zod in the Superman Man of Steel movie was great.
I can agree to that. I like him, and also like I don't love the first Knives Out movie, but I do like him. I do like seeing him there.
I forgot he was in Eyes Out.
99 Homes is also pretty good. I forgot he was in and I remember him too. And you remember the Joseph Gordon-Levitt movie where it was called where he was the bike rider? It was the bike riding delivery service, Premium Rush.
I
I
love that
remember
movie.
he was I remember he was the villain in that.
Oh my god, he was. I remember
He's
that.
a good villain.
I remember that movie because it has that the opening scene is iconic where it's the it's just him flying through the air and he just lands on the ground. Like that's actually that's like a lot of the that's like the one scene a lot of people actually remember the movie from.
Let me think. Oh my god, here's a throwback. He was in Kangaroo Jack.
Yes, he was.
That's something.
You
And
know,
oh my gosh, he was in Revolutionary Road. I love that movie.
What is Revolutionary War?
It's Revolutionary War is Road is a Sam Mendes movie, and it's got Michael Shannon, Leonardo DiCaprio, and Kate Winslet, and Kathy Bates, David Harbour. So good.
And now we see that the White Death is explaining his plan about bringing everyone together because everyone is, like I mentioned before, it is connected and it's all like this big revenge plot. But there's a funny thing with it because I guess I'll just go ahead and give it away. The White Death's plan. What happened was that his wife died and he loved his wife, but the problem was that she was going to go bail out his son, which is Logan Lerman, but he was like, we need to stop bailing him out. So then he wanted his son killed, and the agency that the agency that Brad Pitt works for, they got the hit out. But the problem is that the White Death did this job asking for the person who did that job, which was Carver, but Carver was sick, so they sent Brad Pitt, and then he had this convoluted plan just to get Carver, but Carver's sick and it's just Brad Pitt in his place. He's like, dude, I'm not Carver. He is a dick, but I do believe you. And Tangerine and Lemon did kill his crew in Bolivia. It like I mentioned, this all connects with it, and it's really, really funny.
Between the wedding and the Bolivia, it all connects if you just sit down and pay attention, but yet you turn off your brain and you're like, oh yeah. I remember this part.
And it pays to rewatch it too, because you start to get like everything starts to click.
Did we get to the other major cameo yet? I
It's
don't
coming
think
soon.
so. Yeah, because I'm like, that's my other favorite one in this film.
It's like a cliche of like the villain monologuing.
Yeah, it is.
And it's like funny because you just get to the reveal and you're like, wait a minute, like I'm not who you're looking for. The thing I like about Michael Shannon too is that he gives it his all, no matter what role he does,
He's
and
like
it
one of
works.
those actors
Yeah.
that's good, regardless how big or small the role is. He will deliver.
Yes.
Oh, here he goes. Now I'm turning up the cameo.
It's just like I remember when the cameo happened. I was like, wait, what? Okay, that's interesting. It was just, he's just like, wait, I'm not Carver. It's Carver's. Oh my gosh, this freaking Ryan Reynolds just shows up. Like, okay, cool.
It's awesome.
It is like the best cameo.
It's another David Leitch connection for the whole
It is funny
thing.
too when he realizes he's not Carver. He's like Carver. I hired the Carver. He's like, yeah, he called in sick. I'm filling in. He's like, filling in? I'm like, yeah, I know. Carver's a dick. This poor man just wanted to get Carver. He couldn't even get that.
Now the bullet train is moving again. Mm-hmm.
I like the song "Holding Out for a Hero" in the
It's
Japanese
great
version. It is
in this one. I almost started singing it, then I was like, I don't want to get a copy strike. We're just singing a cover song.
Well, I like the twist with the cover songs because they're all in Japanese.
Yeah, they are. That was one of the other things I forgot about this movie was that the cover songs are in Japanese.
It makes it better.
It does. It fits with everything for this film. Ooh. Those deaths. Brutal.
Yeah, they do not hold back.
Another bug reference. Where Death goes, calls him a cockroach.
Yeah. He's like, I don't know why you're here. Can you just move the way, please? He's just like, please.
Yeah. Who was shooting the gun at that point? I missed.
Like he mentioned that he's like, you talk about Thomas the Tank Engine. He's like, it's a metaphor. It's not like actual trains.
I think from now on going forward, after realizing we're watching the David Leitch films and then knowing I got to see him do what he did for Deadpool 2 and then Fall Guy, I'm making it a promise to myself to not miss a David Leitch film now in theaters
Good.
from going forward because I feel like even though I don't love Deadpool 2, like I would watch like this over Deadpool 2 and Fall Guy over Deadpool 2, which is
I still
kind of
like
sad
Deadpool too.
I'm sorry?
I still like Deadpool too.
I mean, I love the first Deadpool because it was so hard to beat it. Because given how entertaining the first one was, but I'm so excited to see what they're gonna do for the next one.
I'm all in favor.
I might have said Deadpool was rated PG-13 earlier, but it was rated R.
I would
So
say rated R. I didn't even. That is.
I thought I said that. I wasn't sure if I said that earlier. If I did, I apologize again.
And Brad Pitt finds the instructions for the train, and with his luck, they get out the window.
By flying.
Oh my goodness! No, I know you can't have like a real train gorilla and everything, but it does like everything just does look like soundstage CGI, which is fine.
To be fair, though, if it was a real thing, Christopher Nolan or like, whatchamacallit, James Cameron would have done this all real.
Nolan
Like-
more than Cameron, because Nolan would do some crazy shit like this. Because Nolan blew up a 747, so I
Yep.
can see him derailing a train. Like, all right, guys, I gotta get the shot.
We gotta get this shot. We gotta blow up this train.
The absolute
I'm
psychopath.
sure he'll
it
do
is.
that down the road at some point.
Good.
Did you sneeze?
No, I'm just laughing.
Oh, is that?
He's like, he goes, I'm sorry I shot you. He's like, no, you shot me twice. I'm sorry I shot you twice. He's like, see, that shows real growth.
Get him. Oh, right in the face.
It is crazy though. Like, do you feel like the film rushes to its ending a bit or no?
Not really. It all feels pretty earned. I don't think it actually rushes, to be honest.
It does feel like it does kind of build up to that good ending.
I agree. Because when I forgot when I said we should do the Bullet Train watch along, I was like, yeah, we should do it. I forgot it was like 2 hours long, and I was like, oh wow, this is
The funny thing is that it doesn't even feel like it's 2 hours.
yeah. I mean, the first time I watched it in theaters, it didn't feel like 2 hours. The second time I did.
Yeah, it does feel
This is
like
now my third. This is my third time watching it.
this is my fourth
So
time.
I gotta show this movie to my husband. Like my
He's
husband
never
hasn't
seen it?
watched. No, like the funny thing is too, like he hasn't seen many David Leitch films because like I'm sorry, Dylan, I love you, but my husband hasn't seen the Deadpool movies either.
What?
Yeah, like and here's the thing, when like they were coming out, my husband was like when the Marvel stuff was happening, like he didn't see like all the Marvel movies until like I think it was like Endgame was coming out.
Really?
Yeah, so because he saw Infinity War, and and then he watched like all them like the films in the course of like 2 weeks.
Oh wow.
Like this was back when he was like in college and stuff. Like
And there
he
it
had
is,
other interests.
the water bottle that just has like that's what I'm like at that point in the movie. Like I like
Yes,
it now, but like
that
when
Fiji water
it's just
is
like
another character of itself.
yeah, that's what I'm like. I like how this bottle. They're like, hey, this has its own arc too. I'm like, okay, that
GoPro shot of the Fiji water.
that is kind of
bottle.
funny because this feels like an Edgar Wright joke. Like this feels like something that's so like minuscule that it does have like it has a place in it.
Do you know who would I'm sure liked this film a lot? Hideo
Oh.
Kojima.
Hideo Kojima. I feel like this would be something like a Metal Gear.
Yeah. So that's why I know my husband would like this. So,
Look at you name dropping Hideo Kojima. I love it.
I mean, I know it because of Metal Gear, because my husband loves the Metal Gear games. So
Did you ever play Death Stranding?
no, I haven't. But I know that I'm familiar with that because of that. And then we watched the video game awards.
Mm-hmm.
And now he's working with like,
Jordan Peele.
And I was just like, okay, I'm invested. I gotta know more.
The thing I love about Kojima is that he's actually like a video game creator who actually wants to make his games like cinema.
So into film. That's why I really like him.
There's a lot of like when you play his games, there is like a lot of like film. Like I wish he would do. I don't know if he'd ever do it, like maybe do a movie because they're supposed to be doing the Metal Gear movie with Oscar Isaac. I don't know if he's a
Mhm.
producer or anything, but I like his stuff and everything, and I think he would love this movie because he's a big fan of Robert De Niro.
I'm sure
There's a
he's
picture with
probably
them.
seen it though, but
Oh yeah, he's had to. Yeah, I liked his appearance on the Conan show. That was pretty funny. When they were
I'm
talking about Death
interested
Stranding.
what Hiro Kojima, what he's gonna do with Sophia Lillis and Hunter Schafer for that game that's gonna come out, the horror game. That's why.
Oh,
If you heard about that.
I think so.
So if you haven't seen it, go look it up, y'all. It looks really cool.
He's doing OD. It's called OD.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I like about. And this is the Jordan Peele one because they're both writing the game.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I like about his games is that he always gets like big celebrities in it because they do respect him. That's why like you don't see that a lot in the video game industry. He's just that much. He's just awesome. And it's like a part. He's like, I hired Carver. Are you kidding me? He's like, that he called in sick. I'm sorry.
Brad Pitt is like, he's sick. What do you want me to do? I'm
He's
just
like,
here to do my job.
he's like, you're filling in. It's just like, imagine like you put yourself in Michael Shannon's situation. Like you come up with this whole convoluted plan to get revenge, and then the guy you want doesn't even show up. It's just like, for
Yeah.
Christ's sakes, like what can I do? Like I'd be so pissed off. Do not
Oh,
call me, bro.
that target. My God.
He's like, do
Michael
not.
Shannon's head
He's like, don't call me.
explodes.
He's like, don't call me, bro. He's like, all right, I'm sorry. That's happened to me before where someone got mad at me for calling them bro.
You saw the head explosion, right? You got to that part?
Yeah.
Oh no, here's Joey King's now. She
That
ain't done
was
yet.
oh my goodness. Cause I remember she had left the movie. I'm like, did she survived all that? Like what? It was just funny.
Surviving personality disorder.
He was like, I recommend
And
he's
then-
like, I recommend it.
She gets hit by a tangerine truck.
The irony, I love it.
That whole family is dead now.
Yes. I like how the dad was like, you know what, you're cool, Brad Pitt, but you have too much bad luck around you. I need to get out of here before I leave.
Goodbye, Ladybug.
Yeah, pretty much. He's like, you know what, thank you, but you are just. And here we have the Sandra Bullock coming to pick him up. And when I say Sandra Bullock looks fine in this movie,
She looks great
yeah, she does.
for her age, regardless.
Honestly, yeah, she's always looked kind of good to me. To be honest with you,
She's aged. She is aging like fine wine.
yes.
More fruit. I like how the fact she's like, next time take the gun.
Yeah, he's like,
And
don't
then
listen to
she's
Mary.
He's like, I don't want there to be a next time.
It's like, don't cry. It's okay.
Oh, and there goes the car. There goes their ride.
There's a banana in the car, and then boom. then this is what we mentioned before, that Sandra Bullock did The Lost City and Brad Pitt had the cameo, so they probably asked her, do you want to make a cameo at the end too?
Do you want to
me?
star in this film
Yeah.
together? Yeah. Ooh.
I don't want there to be a sequel, but I would love to just visit this world again because it is so. This
I
is
think
a
it
very
would just be fun of the character of Brad Pitt. He doesn't have to ride a train or
just do
boat or
something,
plane
please. It
or
is
something.
funny.
So going back, I gave this film a B.
I gotta look back on my letterbox.
Oh, I forgot this movie's produced by Anton Fuqua.
Yes, it is.
We didn't even talk about Anton Fuqua. We gotta do a retrospective on him one day.
Yeah, he's done a lot. Let me go back to 2022. What did I give this movie?
Oh, the last scene. Tangerine's like, F you,
It's not on
and
my.
just
Oh, here
shoots
it
him.
is.
And this is how he kills Joey King's character. Just runs her over.
It's funny because it makes it. It's just perfect.
The final connection for this film. Oh, this one. Good.
Screw you, Diesel bitch. So I'm going to my letterbox, and I reviewed this movie back in 2022, and I had given it 4. Wait a minute, no, that's not my review. Hold up a second. I'm looking. I lost it. Okay, I gave this movie 3.5 stars. And I said, overall, Bullet Train is just a popcorn action flick. There's some fun to be had with it, but nothing will have you leaving the theater asking questions. But for this film, that's not bad. And when I did my numbers, I gave it a 7 out of 10.
That sounds about right. I think I gave it like a 7. That's like a 7.5.
I watched this on
For me.
August 25th, 2022. Good God. I was 22 back then, and I'm now 24.
22.
So
Okay.
yeah, that was our watch along. And what are your final thoughts on Bullet Train? Would you like to go back to this world in some way or form, or do you think it's good for just a one-off movie?
I mean, that's up to the David Leitch himself if he decides to do that. If he wants to do that, I'm for it. But as long as he can not lose the steam of what is the joys of Brad Pitt's character for it and tell a really great story, then I'm there for it. So, you know, I'm game, but I would like to see him and Brad Pitt maybe even do a different film.
Yeah, I want Brad Pitt and him to do another movie. Like I think that'd be perfect.
You know.
I don't want a sequel to Bullet Train. Like I think this is good for its own story. I do want to see at least something where it's in the similar fashion of that, and it keeps the same energy because this film has a great energy to it.
Well, we'll talk about the excitement and the energy and all that fun stuff in the next episode that we talk, which is the Fall Guy.
Yeah, so next
fall.
Yeah, we're gonna be covering over the Fall Guy. This episode will be up prick, so they will be having Fall Guy. But yeah, that's gonna do it for us. Comment down below what's your favorite David Leitch film and Brad Pitt film, and I guess action movie in general. What's your favorite action movie? And
or just let us know what your favorite character is from Bullet Train. Anything you
why
want
is
to let
it-
us know
why
in
is
the
it-
comments down below about Bullet Train.
and why is it the water bottle, the Fiji bottle, which is the main character of the movie? But until next time, make sure you give us a follow on Instagram at M&K Productions Podcast, the YouTube channel Macking Reviews, and then follow us on Spotify or wherever you listen to your podcast at the M&K Productions Podcast. Also, make sure you check out our TikTok, the M&K Productions Podcast. Don't know how long that's going to be out for because we'll see when TikTok gets banned. Then make sure all the links will be in the description below. Stay tuned for the next episode where we'll be going over the Fall Guy. But until then, I've been Mac, this has been Kristen, and you've been listening to the M&K Productions Podcast. Bye.
Bye.